résout beaucoup les conflits par consensus et en parlant. Souvent avec des médiateurs, souvent sans médiateur. On parle et on résout par consensus. Parce que c'est une petite société, donc on ne peut pas se permettre d'être fâché avec quelqu'un pour très longtemps. Un exemple que je voudrais vous donner, c'est que récemment, j'ai eu un conflit entre deux de mes collègues. Et il y a 30 ans, quand je suis arrivée ici, j'aurais pris ça, j'aurais essayé de le résoudre tout à fait académiquement et tout à fait éthiquement à la française. C'est-à-dire, c'est lui qui a raison et c'est lui qui a tort. J'ai dépassé. Ça ne m'intéresse plus de savoir qui a raison ou qui a tort. Je leur ai expliqué qu'il fallait travailler pour le bien de tous et qu'il fallait garder de l'harmonie au sein de notre institution et que c'était très embêtant s'ils ne se parlaient plus ou s'ils étaient fâchés. Donc, que je leur demandais de faire appel, de mettre leur ego de côté et de faire appel au bien commun et de s'asseoir ensemble, de se parler et de laisser passer la nuit et de revenir le lendemain. C'est réglé. Et je n'ai pas... Je sais qui a raison, je sais qui a tort, mais ça m'est égal.
Merci beaucoup.
Voilà. Donc là, c'est une idée de la justice qui peut être un peu...
Mediation in Bhutan, we call it Nangkha Nangdik, that is two conflicting parties getting together and resolving the dispute amongst themselves, so that is Nangkha Nangdik. It has always been there in the Bhutanese legal system. We've always had this concept of mediation. If you go, the first, of course, written law we had was 1957, but from that day onwards till now, in all our laws, law books, you'll find mediation. Okay, but we have left it loosely to the society to handle it and deal with it themselves, and instead of institutionalizing it. But now we feel the time has come. Now we need to institutionalize it. We need to provide training to people. We need to see where we can improve. So in the past, when conflict happened in a small community, it is normally settled by people who are respected in the society, a lama, a head lama of a monastery there, or a retired civil servant, or the head of the village would settle disputes. They defied all definitions. It's just that they had experience, they were respected in society, and they would mediate. And we never had guidelines like conflict of interest, the concept of confidentiality. But now, with the adoption of the Constitution, establishment of alternative dispute resolution centers is mandated by the Constitution under Article 21. So therefore, now I think it's time for us to pick it up and now take it forward. So when you do that, then you have rules, you have laws. In Bhutan, except for criminal matters, anything else can be mediated. Okay? So even in the courts, during the preliminary hearing, it is mandatory for judges to announce that you can go in for mediation. And sometimes the parties themselves request, okay, give us this much time, we'll go mediate and come back.
And do they mediate quite often?
Yes,
Yeah.
The percentage is quite high.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes judge-directed mediation also takes place. We direct the parties, no, this is the issues there, you can always mediate like this, go out, get a mediator and resolve it, come back. And then what happens is, after the mediation, they reach an agreement, they put it down on paper. It's signed by both the parties and the witnesses. And then it is brought to the court. And the court will keep it for 10 days. That is the limitation period. Within 10 days, any party can rescind any agreement.
That's an interesting...
Yes, but after 10 days, then the doctrine of res judicata kicks in. So normally I've instructed the courts, any case that is mediated after being registered in the court, don't get excited. As soon as the agreement comes, don't issue a judgment.
And what about the rate of people who resign the agreement within the 10 days?
It is basically nominal. Sometimes it is just gratis. In the villages it's gratis, or sometimes they just take a bottle of alcohol or milk or something, some few eggs.
Yes. And do many people break the agreement? What is the rate?
Not really. But what happens is then...
Percentage of people who... Is it
Again,
high
figures,
or not figures, but
no,
general?
it's minimal. It's
Minimal. That's interesting.
Because what happens is, then, since the agreement is endorsed by the court, it has the force of law. You know, after 10 days, res judicata kicks in, you cannot appeal also. You cannot now rescind that agreement. So if you don't comply with it, then you will be held in contempt. So then, normally everybody complies with it.
Thank you very much for
Everybody complies with it.